bizarre from the comedy team of Steph and Roy. The makeup
now you're putting your name on my segment?
Makeup with Stephanie. No, I said comedy team. I said makeup with Stephanie.
No, I'm the comedian here. You're just tagging along. Okay, go.
Okay.
And we let Roy pick.
I'm gonna pick right off the. I've been doing off the bottom, so that was the one on the top.
All right. Dang, my plot didn't work. Today we have drumroll, NYX candy stick. I can't stand this one. I can't stand it.
You don't like
because
candy sticks? Come on.
Am I allowed to say that on there? It's super salty. So if you're like low and like.
Well, that would have been good a couple of days ago when it's heat because you emanate a lot of salt through your sweat when you're No,
it's a nice color though. It's light. It's airy. It's kind of beachy. Which this weather has been beachy.
Which you can use.
And you're kind of beachy.
Maybe. Oh boy. We're already starting off on the right foot, huh?
Why not? And you know what? I posted this that video and photos of my hair curly because I have naturally curly hair. So I got this product I found on Facebook called Love Yourself. Great, amazing hair curling product for all of you that might have curly hair or might want curly hair. Should try it.
Lust?
L-U-S. Lust Brands.
How does that translate to love yourself?
Because I spell you-are.
So they're a hillbilly company.
Let's not like.
Gotcha on that one.
We're not.
Love it. Love it. The hillbilly curling hair deal, yada, yada, yada.
Don't tell them you saw it here. I'm just embarrassed.
Oh, see, they'll probably open up a whole new market for them they never knew they could get. They'll have all
the hillbilly market? We should try it on your hair. Dude.
They'll have all the trailer park.
Can I do your hair?
They'll have all the trailer trash ordering their products.
Here I am trying to sell something. And you're going and roaring it up. Stop. Anyways, go check it out if you have curly hair or you want curly hair. They have three different lines: wavy, curly, spiral curly. Like, I forget, that's not the technical names. That's really cool.
My hair does start getting wavy when it is like it is now when it gets longer.
It's a 3-step process. You got the shampoo, you got the conditioner, and then you got the leave-in. And shampoo and conditioner, like, you can feel like the realness in it. Like, there's not a lot of crap in there. It's pure. It's amazing. I love it. Are we going on Facebook yet? I don't know how much long I can talk. You usually just cut me off. Oh, well, yeah. Go check it out.
You were on a roll. We were just letting you go.
You're making me do it, aren't you? I don't want to. But you know what? Okay, so we're here on what is today? I don't even know what today is.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every live at 5 every day on iNewswire, on Facebook Live and YouTube Live on that. On a...
Wacky Wednesday! Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, it is.
You screwed me up. Anyways.
On that. On a wacky, wicked, whimsical Wednesday all across the board on the Inland Empire on that. We have lots of breaking news coming up on that. You're not going to believe the story we're going to bring you on the homeless and what they're doing in San Francisco. I mean, I think after this, I think I'm going to go homeless after I seen this story coming up. But we'll have
going
that.
Homeless?
Yeah, we'll have that in a bit.
I'm down.
Susan Shelley will be on a little bit later on to preview or to update you or dig deeper in depth in her great editorial columns that are in dozens of Southern California newspapers all across the board. We're going to do an open video to all of our public officials on that because what? We now no longer the citizens are asking. We are demanding that demanding. Yes. You've got Stephanie so PO'd she's beating on the table.
I'm beating myself now.
Yes, of that.
What's up with that?
We are demanding that you open the state up now, that you open everything up, and you're going to be surprised, maybe, maybe not, of who is all on board with this and why we should be doing it. It's no longer, I mean, okay, you want to ignore all the people that walked up, the hundreds of them that walked up last week and said, please, we're starving to death out here. Our kids are going hungry. We're afraid of losing our jobs, our businesses. Are we going to have a job to go back to? The nurses were telling you this is all a bunch of BS. And we've got to just, we're not going to take this stuff anymore. States are opening up all across the board. Arizona's going to lift their stay-at-home ban come Friday.
Go Arizona.
And they're starting to opening
I know where
up.
I'm going.
What's his name up there? The ding dong governor up there, and is going. Well, maybe we'll let you have some curbside pickups going on. Whoa, well, that means 70% of the economy is back to where we were. Shut the heck.
I thought we were just happy about him opening it up. I'm confused.
No, he's not opening hardly anything. It's like L.A. County, and we'll get into that with cities.
In Arizona?
No, and we're talking about our ding-dong governor.
Oh, okay. That's where I was confused.
Our ding-dong governor up there. No, the Arizona governor. Well, he was trying to back up on this, and the citizens of Arizona started putting the heat on him, and then he's very astutely changed his tune on this whole thing. But before we do the open letter on the to our open video, I guess I should say.
Joseph writes in, open all the way.
Yes. That I want to get into the story that's going on, and it could only happen in California.
Really quick, can I do my...
Yes, do your
So
disclaimer.
Friday we had 9 winners. 2 of them I have not been able to get in contact with. So Brett, if you're watching, and Johnny R., if you can, please reach out and contact us so that way I can send you your gifts.
Yes, we want to get you your
have
prizes.
until Sunday
You have until
to
Sunday.
redeem them, or I have to give them away.
Well, yeah, we'll put them back in the pile on our next giveaway, which was very successful on that.
It was a lot of fun.
That was
I had
a
great
good
time.
deal on that. Again, yeah. Only something as bizarre as this could happen in California. So have the article that's in the IEN radio deal ready
Edward
to go.
writes in, Los Angeles County is now closed indefinitely. I think he's
we'll stay tuned on that. We'll deal with it. Susan Shelley's wrote in a column on that,
That's
an
not true, is it?
editorial. You're going to be surprised of what happens when the public pressure goes on. But stay tuned for that. We're going to cover that on the bottom of the hour on that when we come back. But have the article up from that. This is the title: Free Booze, Pot, and Smokes for San Francisco's homeless.
I'm going homeless.
I told you. This is in the City Journal that was written. San Francisco's officials deny direct involvement in a controversial program funded by private sources that provides free alcohol, cannabis, and cigarettes to homeless people living in the city's hotels during the COVID-19 outbreak. After news about these special deliveries was leaked and caused embarrassment on social media, the city's Department of Public Health issued a statement claiming rumors against the San Francisco's alternative housing program are receiving taxpayer-funded deliveries of alcohol, cannabis, and tobacco are totally false. Except that they're not false. DPH, which administers and oversees the program, is staffed by city workers, including doctors, nurses, practitioners, social workers, and security personnel. The department manages, stores, and distributes the substances. Employee and time is involved. Thus, the program is financed by taxpayers, even if an outside group provides some of the funding, according to the Department of Health Services spokesman Jenna Lane. The philanthropists who helped purchase the substance would wish to remain anonymous. Oh, really? So, when they uncover this, and remind you, I was Teresa and Carla were in there, and you're not an expert in this and that. Remind you, the expert doctors and nurses and stuff that you are employing in the public health, this is what they're doing. So we want to praise the experts, that are saying stay at home and drop down and you're going to kill your mother and putting out these PSAs like that and scaring you to death. You want to back them? This is what they're doing with the taxpayers' dollars they're taking out of your wallet, and they're giving smokes, pot, and alcohol
to the homeless,
and hoteling them in the Ritz, for crying out loud.
Wow, they're giving them a place to live too.
Yes, that's what they're doing. They're in the hotels. They're commandeering hotels, the luxury hotels down in L.A. on this to do this, and it started, like I said, it can only start in California. Of this, like I've said, the other 49 states, please do not let the cancer of California spread across your 49 states like the lockdown did. It started here, and it went across. Well, it didn't go across. 8 states were man up enough to not put draconian stay-at-home lockdown measures on their citizens. But the other 42 buckled, but it was California that clicked that first domino off. And this is what's coming next. This is why you don't listen to the Faucis and the Burks and the whatever Ferrier or whatever, who doesn't even have, she's a doctor, but she's not a medical doctor. She's got a doctorate in social working, the dingbat down there in L.A. County public official. That came out and said, oh, we're locking down the county for that. We'll talk about that at the bottom of the hour. But these dingalings, yo-hos, and experts and government officials that have been scaring you to death, and those of you believe it, that's your prerogative. But pray tell...
Apologize to Carla, you upset her.
Excuse me if I don't buy their whole BS of that.
Apologize to Carla.
Well, whatever. What did I do that upset Carla?
She said that she did not say you were not an expert, but he's not an expert. He just
No, that was Teresa that asked for an expert. But Carla was going, or if I remember correctly...
We're not going to get into it right now. I'm just saying. See, he thinks he is, but he's not.
We're into that.
He usually has.
But no, it's I mean,
but now we need to go be homeless.
Is it? Yes,
I mean, I'm a little jealous.
Exactly. I mean, hell, you want a vacation when you can't
you
can't go.
I want a beer for free.
Yes, and you can't go to the Ritz yourself
stuff,
because they've shut down all the hotels. Basically, you can't go even if you had $20 billion. You can't walk up to the Ritz or the Waltern or whatever and get a luxury suite or whatever and go in because they got the hotels goes down. But if you're homeless. Oh, well, we're going to do that. Then all you got to do is call up room service and said, I need a bottle of tequila, a couple blunts, and a couple cartons of cigarettes. And they bring it to you.
Will they let it for me?
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm right. But throw in about 3 or 4 lighters in here. So in case I want to burn the hotel room down doing this.
But you won't have to pay for it either.
Yeah.
So.
No, the homeless won't. Guess who's paying for it?
I don't have any money, so that's why I'm like you.
You know that sales tax that was on the glass for your broken window? That's what you were paying for. You were paying for things like this. It's called tax dollars. The government has no money. They take the money they get, they derive from you and me and our hard work and efforts is what fuels that. There is no free lunch.
The kids get free lunch every day. Anyways.
Susan
Rupert Raleigh writes in, Miss Dead, that's what I call the Los Angeles lady. Because that's what she looks like.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You talk about the scarecrow lady? Woo.
So you call her Scarecrow, and then she calls us.
So get ready to do this. We're going to do the open video to the all of our public.
Too much.
We're all of our public officials.
Robert writes in, we are all paying for it.
Yes.
Or we are paying for it, not
10-4, Robert. You're 100% on point. And anytime anybody says something is free, no, it may not be any charge to you, but somebody somewhere is paying for it. Nothing is free on that. So
I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
Have a video 1 ready and give me the thumbs up when the recording light comes on, and I will start the video, Jesse, on that. Here we go. This is an open letter to all of our public officials, no matter if you're a city, county, state, school board, United States of America, Donald Trump, everybody, because this situation is getting dead blank and critical. The stay-at-home order lockdown of that, and I'm especially talking to California on down to Riverside County to Moreno Valley, where we are broadcasting from today, of that, and I'm going to use most of those as examples because I'm more familiar with that. But Orange County today, it was brought up at the Riverside County hearings last week about opening up, that, we should work with Orange County and San Bernardino, and we don't want to take the lead. Well, Orange County is saying, hey, come work with us. We want to go up with the governor and stuff like that. So, again, as I made the appeal Tuesday at the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, Sheriff John McMahon in San Bernardino County, Don Barnes in Orange County, Sheriff Chad Bianco in Riverside County. I made the appeal to Sheriff Chad Bianco. We're telling, will you stand behind the Board of Supervisors? If they say we're opening up now. Sheriffs are going to say, we're opening up our counties. We're not prosecuting anybody. And if any of your goons, state licensing agencies, or anybody else come in here, you know what? We're going to deputize almost probably between those three counties, probably close to 10 million people. We'll deputize them all and let's get it on. That's what we got to do, because there was a number one example of how this worked. It's very, very, very big in the news right now. Tesla, the big electric car maker, Elon Musk, the founder. His car factory that builds the Tesla cars is up in Fremont, California, which is just a little bit east of San Francisco. He wasn't going to shut down, but he did for, when the orders came in like that. So the other day he said, screw it, I'm opening up my plant. I don't care what Alameda County says, the city of Fremont, the state of California, Gavin Newsom can go blank off. And everybody else. I'm opening my plant tomorrow. And he's put out a tweet. Find the tweet if you can of him. He said he opened up his plant yesterday for his 10,000 workers. And he said, if you're going to arrest anybody, arrest me first. Yes, there's the video starting of that. He says, there it is. This is Elon Musk that he tweeted out on May 11th. Tesla is restarting production today against Alameda County rules. I will be on the line with everyone else. If anyone is arrested, I ask that it only be me. So that's what you start with on this stuff. So go ahead and play the video of this. This is Fox Business Report on Elon Musk going on. So play the video.
With everyone else. If anyone is arrested, I ask that it only be me. But frankly, any sort of arrests seem unlikely. As Tesla employees streamed into work this morning, the county sheriff said any arrests were up to the Fremont police. The Fremont police said any arrest would be up to advice from the county health officials. They set a deadline of 5 p.m. yesterday for Tesla to submit a safety plan. And a county official told us just a short time ago, quote, the site-specific plan was submitted yesterday, and we're in the process of reviewing it. We've got an update to that graphic you have on the screen there, confirming that they have indeed
so
got
there you
that
go.
plan.
So there's the sheriff of Alameda County. It said, we're not doing anything. The sheriff or the chief of police of Fremont saying, we're not doing anything. The public official saying, well, submit a plan. Submit all the plans. Screw the plans. We didn't need no plans before this. We don't need no stinking plans now. Screw this, just like everybody else. I want you to look, if you don't believe this, I want you to go back and watch the tapes of the, 10 hours or so of public testimony at Riverside County.
Long time.
And you look at the compelling stories that were told by everybody that's absolutely been affected and hurting and watching their lives crumble over this.
Watching their dreams just get crushed. It's so sad.
They
work so hard to open their businesses and then close the doors over something like this. I mean, allow it to be their choice.
You don't realize, or if you've never been into business, your blank is sticking out on the line ready to get chopped off. I mean, most of the time you're running on, you're just running on E on a lot of these things, or you're just 1 second away from a dangerous, a frivolous lawsuit or something that'll put you out of business, and you're done. You're the point person on this. And plus all the people that are not going to work, which is even probably 100 to every business owner, and a lot of those came up there. To the nurses, it said this whole thing is a bunch of BS that came up there. Now, that took a lot of guts for them to walk up there and say that. And you don't want to do that. You're dragging your feet all along California. No, it's time. Chairman from the board, I'll put Jeff Hewitt in charge and contact Jeff Hewitt in Riverside County Board of Supervisors. Michelle Steele, the chairwoman of Orange County, she stood up when they started to close her beaches and said, "Not no, but hell no." I can't remember his name, but the chairman of the San Bernardino County Board of Supervisors. Get on this, because I don't think Manny Perez has got enough guts. He couldn't even make up his mind on reforming 4757, the onerous stuff that's releasing these criminals. He says, well, I don't understand that. Well, if you don't understand anything like that, you should quit, but that's a story for a different day. But we should be banding together. 3 counties, 3 of our largest counties in the state of California, Orange, San Bernardino, and Riverside, should tomorrow issue a statement. We are opening up our counties. We are opening up our tomorrow. Every business, every instruction, our sheriff should stand up for us, make that edict, and say, "Come on in. If you think your licensing agencies and Goon Squad, Gavin Newsom, or whoever you think you got coming on, well, then bring it on. We'll see who's going to win that battle, because we'll just deputize all close to 10 million of us, and we'll see how that works out for you, dude." So the next part I'm going to get to is the schools.
Oh.
We had nothing other than a press conference today. Donald Trump, President of the United States, had a press conference with governors of North Dakota, which never put a stay-at-home order in at all, and Colorado's governor, which is opening up his state, which has 17 deaths per 100,000, and California only has 7 per 100,000. So they have over double, almost 250% more deaths per 100,000, yet they are opening up at a way quicker pace than we are. So have video from our esteemed president, and he says this is what we should do in America with our schools when you have it ready, Jesse, of that. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. Here. Do you have the video ready?
Roy on
of that? I'm vamping on that. But no, while he gets the video ready, Donald Trump came out today to said, open the schools. I want you to hear it in his words. He said, America will not be open unless we open our schools. And so school districts, and this is the one thing I disagree with what they did. They did not in Riverside County rescind the public health order that said schools could not open till June 19th. There is no edict on that, of that.
School's already out, though, on June 19th.
It doesn't matter. They could open them tomorrow. They could start summer school. They could do anything. They have them locked down. They're talking about half days,
no.
This and everything else. Yes,
no.
That's what's coming.
Roy? Where's my beating stick?
When are we going to have the video ready?
Where's my
I
beating
want to
stick?
play that. Because they should hear what the president had to say on this.
Video 4 is just of you.
Okay, go look at the timeline and go look at the one where President Trump is on IEN. That's where it's at. So when you get to that, as he said, we're not going to run each day of what we're going to do on that when you go. So again, I'm appealing to all the school districts in the state of California. Open up your schools now. As Trump will tell you in this video, and every expert, children have not been affected by this very infinitesimally.
I think they should open them up, but we're so close to the end of the school year, like, they're almost done.
Yes, but we should probably start the school year earlier this year to make up for the lost time. And
but what about parents that want summer vacation with their children?
Well,
right?
What summer vacation
No,
are you going to
go
take?
Back like the end of July, like mid-July, after 4th of July at least, like a week after.
Of that. So when you
Maybe.
So when you go to this, you There is no reason based on the facts, science, and data to be closing down our schools.
No, there's not. But I mean,
Then why are we doing it?
they've done it for so long now, and now the kids are already getting in the rhythm of the social distance learning.
So here's President Trump at the press conference today and his statement on opening schools in America. Go. I think.
Very little impact on young people. And I think that if you're an instructor, if you're a teacher, a professor, and you're over a certain age, like let's say 65, or maybe even if you want to be conservative, 60, perhaps you want to stay out for a little while longer.
I think it needs,
But
it needs to stop at minus 34 where the questions first ask on that. So just back it up about a minute or two on that. You're getting to the late spot. But he was going to say on that of the issue of where he's saying open the schools on that whole deal. So yeah, look on the big board. It's up there on the where I wanted to start it. So we're going to retool that.
School principals around the country
Here's
in
the
terms
question
of
from the report.
their plans to reopen school and colleges in the fall.
I think they should open the schools, absolutely. I think they should. And it's had very little impact on young people. And I think that if you're an instructor, if you're a teacher, a professor, and you're over a certain age, like let's say 65, or maybe even if you want to be conservative, 60, perhaps you want to stay out for a little while longer. But I think you should absolutely open the schools. Our country's got to get back, and it's got to get back as soon as possible. And I don't consider our country coming back if the schools are closed. And it's had very little, very unusual situation. It's had very little impact on young people. And I would strongly say they should open. It's up to the governors. It's the governor's choice. But their state is not open if the schools aren't open. So again, it's had very little impact on young people, and I think they should open their schools.
Okay, that's it. There's the president. It's had very little impact on young people. We should open our schools now. There's the edict from the president of the United States, which is probably working on a lot better information than any of you all have. So that's it for that. Open up our counties, open up our state, open up our schools. We demand it now. I hope all the county boards, our city staff, school districts, county sheriffs, all across, in all 58 counties in the state of California will join with us and do this and do it immediately. Anything else to add?
I think you covered most of it.
So there
I don't want to go back to school early, though.
There you go. You got your marching orders. Open everything up now. We're done with this.
Yeah.
We want to get back to the way it was before this madness
I would like
started.
to see it all open back up. I mean, it's getting to be a bit much now.
Yes.
I'm losing my damn mind.
So, yes.
Like, big time.
Like everybody else.
Like, seriously?
Yes.
For me and my 4 children?
Yes. Like everybody else, the 40 million
we want to
people.
go play.
Yes. We want our lives back.
We
Please.
do. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go to Disneyland. I want to go to Knott's. I want to go to Universal Studios. You know how many places I want to go? What?
Please. Please. For all of our sanity, for everything, please open us up and open us now. Thank you very much.
I forgot we were doing that. Yeah, you do.
Yes, we don't want Sean's voice coming over on the... Did you dump the recording? Cool. So, yeah, we're going to be
Hi,
joining that.
Sean.
Hey guys, how are you?
you?
Absolutely
We're
fantastic.
great.
We
Never
got-
better.
Yeah. So yeah, we just for those of you we got that we'll be posting that video and obviously sending it to all our elected representatives, and feel free to post
1 minute.
that. We'll post it on the in the comments or whatever on the deal. If you're running around, Jesse, make a copy of that recording and then post that specific deal in the comments so people can grab it, share it. Nationwide across that, because our public representatives need to hear this and hear this loudly, because we are tired
30
of
seconds.
this Bolshevik they have been exposing us to. It's gone on far too long, and every minute we waste, we're digging deeper in that hole. And pray tell, you don't want to get that hole so deep that it starts caving in around you, because then that's a point of no return, and we all know what that means.
All right, guys, here we go.
.com and download your free phone app today.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program.
There's that funky slide guitar music. Comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Mighty Met 1490 KMET, blasting across the AM dials all across the Inland Empire. And for those of you that are tuning in, you might want to go back and check the first part of the show out that we broadcast on IE Newswire live on Facebook and YouTube. Go check us out on that. We had a couple things. The bizarre story of how the homeless are getting free booze, pot, and smokes, and then living in the Ritz on your taxpayer dime.
I know. I'm jealous.
And
I never thought I'd say that.
Post the link. Did you post the link
yes,
to
the link
that?
is in the
The
comments.
link is in the comments, and that's
Go
so you've got a record of that. It's an absolutely incredible story of what's going on. Yeah, you're paying for this. Well, you can't, even if you have $20 billion, you can't go to the hotel because of this lockdown or have a vacation or anything else. But we're housing the homeless in that. The second thing is we put an open letter to all of our public officials up and down the counties making a plea. We want this county opened up now. We want the state opened up now. We want our schools opened up now. None other than some of the titans of business like Elon Musk to the President of the United States are saying do exactly this. President Trump was tweeting tweeted that, hey, it's great, California, you're killing your people. Great for Elon Musk to open his factory, start opening up California along with the schools and everything out. It'll be a great video. We need to share that far and wide to get these politicians off the stick, off the dime, not pontificating. We don't want to hear about committees or staffs or reports or anything else. We want action. We want it done, and we want it done now on across the board. So we said we would cover the bizarre stuff that was going on down in L.A. County, and somebody that's there and covering that and right in the heart of that is our next guest, our longtime guest that we've had on for seems like decades, but I think it's been like 3 or 4 years we've had that. She's editorial writer for such esteemed newspapers as the Press Enterprise, San Bernardino Sun, Redlands Daily Facts, Inland Daily Bulletin, and a gazillion more papers across Southern California. On top of that, and in my mind even more important, Vice President of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, which is protecting you from the evils of government that we are being inflicted on today. But Susan Shelley, welcome to the IE Newswire Daily with Steph and Roy.
Well, hi. It's great to be with you. How are you both today?
Great. How are you?
I'm okay.
Couldn't be better, even though we are getting disseminated, killed, and everything else on that. I know you wrote a column about the stuff that's going on in L.A. County and Free or whatever that goofball public health official is down there of that. And you wrote one of your other editorial was on opening up the county. And I will post it later, but we made about a 12-minute video here just a bit ago, which we'll post later. An open plea to every government official in the state of California, from school districts to county board of supervisors to the governors, city councils, and everything else. We want our counties opened up. We want them opened up now, and we don't want to hear anything different. But I want to play this short video from KTLA last night, and this caused a firestorm in that the public health official over there proposed that they were going to lock down L.A. County for until August. So when you have the video clip, give me the thumbs up and we'll play it. Jesse, here it is. Here's a short video clip of what she said yesterday at a press briefing. Go.
That doesn't mean that everything is going to remain shut down. LA County's health director says that restrictions will slowly be eased up over the coming months while other safety measures remain in place. locked down for months while the rest of the state's economy moved on.
We know with all certainty that we would be extending health officer orders, for the next 3 months. There's no way, unless there was a dramatic change in sort of this virus.
Okay, stop it, but hold the picture up. I want that graphic back up where she's just a couple seconds with the blue graphic of that. We know with all certainty that we would be extending the health office orders. Now, is there any ambiguity or whatever the name is of that, as I butcher that, Susan Shelley, in that statement?
Well, there's lots of ambiguity, but the thing to realize is that she is the appointed director of public health in LA County. She's not an elected official. She doesn't have to get any of these decisions apparently signed off by the elected officials because they have just deferred to her. So the county is under her order to stay locked down under her terms and her rules for as long as she decides. And she just dropped it casually 3 more months.
Yeah.
And really, all Hades broke loose after that.
That's what I say. I mean, to me, there was no ambiguity. She said, with all certainty, it's going to be locked down for 3 months.
3 more months.
And now she's doing a big backtrack today, and they're saying, "Oh well, now we'll open up outdoor businesses and stuff to pick up only, or outside."
This is not helpful because the main thing is no one has any certainty about what they will be able to do. So if you're a business or a household and you're trying to figure out, well, how long do you have to go without income, and how long do you have to pay your expenses without getting any check, or without getting more than whatever the government decides to send you? How long can you do that? Well, if you think you only have to do it to the end of May, maybe you can make it. But if you have to go to the end of July, then she finishes her statement and people put out the bankruptcy notices because they're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to continuously stay in business with no revenue and no prospect of revenue month after month. And what they're saying essentially is the government is going to continue this emergency permanently, and they will issue rules. Whatever they decide, whenever they decide, with no process, with no warning, they will issue rules. 6 feet apart, 5 feet apart, sorry, you have to close. We're going to allow nightclubs to open up. We didn't like the way the pictures looked. We're going to make all the nightclubs close. You can't operate a business with random threats like that from the government. So what she's essentially done is she has wrecked the economy of Los Angeles County with one statement. And even her correction, they put out a clarification at 5 p.m. The clarification was, it's going to continue for 3 more months.
No.
That was a clarification. But she couched it in language that was along the lines of, well, we're going to look, we're going to think, we're going to lift some of the restrictions, we're trying to ease it, it all depends. Bottom line, 3 more months under emergency regulations at her discretion alone. And you can see how this works at the beaches. The LA County beaches, they use the word open. I wouldn't use the word open. They use the word open today. The new dictionary would consider this open. You can go to the beach, but the parking lots are closed. You cannot ride a bicycle, the bike paths are closed. You cannot walk on the boardwalk, you cannot walk on the pier. You cannot sit on the sand. You cannot stand on the sand. You must keep moving. No blankets, no chairs, no coolers, no umbrellas. What is this?
Can you laugh or breathe while you're there, or is that not allowed either?
If you ask permission.
What are you allowed to do? Are you allowed to go in the water?
You're allowed to go in the water and swim or surf.
Can you stand in the water though? Probably not.
Now this is kind of interesting. You must wear a mask.
Oh my
God! If you're in the water, you do not have to wear a mask. Where you are supposed to keep your mask when you're in the water is another one of these questions medical science can't answer.
Well, I got some interesting places you could probably stick that mask. And I know where I can tell them to stick, and I have, as I did at the Riverside County Board of Supervisors, walked in there with no mask on and everything, and dared them to arrest me on that whole ordeal last week. And that, this is absolutely freaking crazy of what's going on, and this goes to the deal of, you wrote your editorial, I think, on Sunday about, it's time to open this thing up. We made an appeal. I don't know if you saw Trump's press conference today with the North Dakota and Colorado governors. But he said, question from the reporters, what about schools? He said, schools need to be opened up now. He said, America will not be opened up now. It will not be opened up until our schools are open, on and on. I've made a plea, put it out in the video. I made it at the Supervisors Tuesday to Sheriff Chad Bianco, to all of our county board of supervisors, to that, and especially Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside should be cooperating, working together. We should be saying tomorrow they should issue an edict saying we're open. Our county sheriffs are saying we're not enforcing any of these edicts. And Gavin Newsom, bring your goons, state licensing agencies, anywhere else, because all three sheriffs will deputize all close to 10 million people that are sitting here and bring it on. I think that's where we're down to on this, because we cannot stand one more second of this.
And I'm honestly confused. Like, you can go to some stores without a mask. You can go to some spots and beaches, but not others. Like, what the hell? It's confusing.
Well, what's going on is they are trying to keep control of the situation. Now, if you want to grant good motives, which I don't, but if you want to grant good motives, they feel that this is very contagious, and even though the people who are spreading it are not at risk, because if you're young and you're healthy, you're not going to have a serious illness or death from this. You have to be essentially medically fragile in order for this to give you a really bad outcome. But theoretically, they believe that a person who doesn't have symptoms can transmit this virus to another person who is medically vulnerable. So their thinking is, why discriminate? We'll just lock everybody away. Well, now it's hot. It wasn't today, but it's going to be hot in the summer. It was hot last weekend. And people are not going to stay in their homes where they can't afford to run the air conditioning even if they have it, because the electricity bills are going to be insane. They're in their homes. They're going out. They're going to go to the beach. So what is LA County trying to do? They're trying to keep control, let just a little of the steam out to release the pressure by letting people walk, jog, swim, surf. But they don't want the beaches to be crowded because they believe that that will transmit the disease. So how do you keep the beaches from being crowded? Well, this is where government bureaucrats sit around a table and brainstorm, like comedy writers. And they say, okay, well, no one can go to the beach if they can't, like, eat, so we've closed all the restaurants, so we'll ban picnics. So that's what they did. No coolers, no picnics, no blankets, no umbrellas.
I mean, the way our government officials are going, they would make the Catholic nun school teachers with the rulers, and every time you got out of line, they would make them green with envy of how they're treating us at that. Like your explanation of how they are telling you how to go conduct or what you can do on the beaches. Well, why don't we just fence the darn things off and just say nobody else is going on there forever in time and memoriam? Because unless we decided, just our privileged class is going to be the only ones that are going to enjoy California beaches.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a really dangerous situation, because if you don't grant them good motives, then you're in this area where you're looking at how they're going to drive selective people into bankruptcy. And then people who work for the government, who are making big money, Barbara Farrar, the county public health director, makes in excess of $400,000 a year. I think it was $418,000 or $420,000 a year in 2018, so it's more now, plus extra pay, plus benefits. So she's at roughly $500,000 in salary, probably more. She's not hurting. So if this policy drives people out of business and people with lovely beach homes are forced into foreclosure and all these homes are worth nothing and no one has a job and no one can qualify for a mortgage except for these government workers who are still being paid, wow, what a great opportunity to buy lovely beachfront property. All the government workers with the six-figure salaries must be just green with envy, looking at these people they're about to drive into bankruptcy. That may be not true, but the city councilman in Los Angeles, Mike Bonner, openly stated that the city intends to buy apartment buildings and hotels that are driven into foreclosure or distress by these policies. He openly stated that.
Yes, you read my mind. Yes, you read my mind. That's when you said that. That's exactly what popped into my head was Mike Bonn and that blankety blank councilman down there that all the jackass that was closing, building bike lanes and eliminating car lanes and causing traffic jams and homelessness, or advocate for the homeless. I don't know if you caught the wind of the story up there in San Francisco where they're housing the homeless of the Ritz up there on our taxpayer dime. On top of that, they are ordering them. They call up room service and get free booze, pot, and smokes, all delivered by our government agencies, which first denied it until somebody went over there and wrote an article and said yes, they are doing it. And now what are they? I mean, what sort of bizarre world are we living in?
It's very bizarre. The article that I read said that the substances are being purchased with money from a private donor. I don't know who's doing this, but delivered by the government workers, monitored by the government workers. They say that they're measuring the amount of alcohol that people can have, but essentially what they've done is they've taken people who are addicts, people who are addicted to alcohol or drugs, put them in a hotel room, and they're going to detox in a hotel room with no medical care. A hotel room is not a hospital room.
Right.
This is outrageous. This is not a solution to the homelessness problem. This is an outrage. And the cost of these staffers. There's a downtown LA hotel. I think it's 11 floors. I believe there are 16 security guards on each shift at your expense. Plus, you've got a contract with the Salvation Army, I believe it is, to run some of these hotels. And there are other homeless service providers who are running the hotels on a contract. We are paying them. Nobody's a volunteer. There's a meal service, 3 meals a day, delivered to the door. No one even has to go downstairs to a restaurant. Restaurants aren't allowed, so the meals are delivered to the door. So now you've taken a homeless person, put them in a luxury hotel, delivered 3 meals a day, and they can go out and come back. Nobody's even locked down the way the regular residents are locked down in their own homes. Nobody's locked down because that would be a violation of their rights, so they can go out and buy stuff and come back. And what are they buying? And how is this helping?
Yes.
This is a travesty.
And why I say...
And when you ask about it, they say, don't worry, the federal government is paying 75% of the cost. Oh, good. We don't pay any federal taxes in California. That's not our money, right?
Yes, it's absolutely. That's why I say a part of the story is of this, what they're going on, but their employees were distributing it, so we are paying California. I don't care whose tax dollars. You know when you hear tax dollars, look in the mirror because that's where they come from. I'm tired of this rhetoric that the federal government's paying for it or that. It doesn't really matter. It's all coming out of our dollars, folks, our pockets.
It's all coming from the same pockets.
Yes.
It's all coming from us. And this is not, we all want a solution to the homelessness crisis. This is not a solution. This is just politicians trying to get people off the streets to either appease the courts or to give themselves a photo op, or because they don't know what else to do, or because they can, because they've run these hotels out of business with this lockdown. This is absurd. This cannot be happening. When you watch this situation, particularly in California, where like everything, it's a little worse. When you watch this happening, and you see people just voluntarily surrendering their rights, it's so disturbing. But more and more, I am seeing that people are not willingly surrendering their rights. I think this 3-month statement was a bridge too far. We were already at the end of everybody's tether, and then she said that, and it's been like the French Revolution online. People are just
aren't gonna last that long.
Exactly.
They're not, and then that's where it's mind-boggling to me. Like, they have to see what's coming by them doing this. There's no way people are gonna stay in 3 more months. That's no. Even I'm like, hell no. And I'm like, way nicer than this guy.
There's a particular type of riot that happens.
Exactly.
By people who are taxpayers and homeowners. And this riot is called an election. And in Congressional District 25, which political experts believed was a toss-up, the Republican just won by 12 points. And the Democrat conceded today. So this is the first time in 22 years that a congressional seat has flipped from Democrat to Republican.
In California.
Yes, I guess so, in California. Take note, because this is very unusual, and it was not predicted, and the polls didn't see it coming. And then there was also a Republican victory in Wisconsin, and there was a Republican victory, Melissa Melendez in
Correct.
Riverside. And that's not nothing, because people who are upset with too much government control are not going to find that the Democrats are to their liking in any race, local, state, or federal. And this could be a realignment moment in American history. This could be very significant.
I hope you're right on that one, and I think the signs of that, and I think that, like I said, I think the precursor was this when Prop 13, the new Prop 13, the $15 billion bond, went down to a resounding defeat in our last election. And like I said, pray tell, if that would have passed and we had this crisis on top of that, we couldn't have taken that on that. But give you about a minute to wrap it up, Susan, and tell us why everybody should join Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association.
Oh, it's so important to strengthen the voice of taxpayers in California, because as you've seen, the budget is going to be a mess, and they are coming to us for more taxes this fall. There will probably be a lot of local taxes on the ballot. There are two measures that have received enough signatures to go on the ballot and raise property taxes, two of them. And this has to be stopped. So the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association is advocating in Sacramento. It will fight the ballot measures. It is working in the courts to protect taxpayers. Support the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association by becoming a member for just $15 a year. Go to hjta.org. We will keep you up to date on all of these developments and tell you when you have to pick up the phone and call somebody and raise Cain about what they're doing. We'll give you the phone numbers. We make it easy. hjta.org. Be a member. Strengthen the voice of taxpayers in California.
And that is listed in our comment section as well, just in case you want to click to that and register today. Tell them we sent you.
That's it. Thanks for being on, Susan. We'll do it again next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Stephanie.
There's the great Susan Shelley, editorial writer for many Southern California newspapers on that, with some very great insights into what's going on. You want to read her column. She usually does one on Sunday and Wednesday every week in most the major newspapers around Southern California. So be sure to check her out. And even in my mind, more importantly, there's probably no more critical time than to join the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, because we've got tax increases coming up on the ballot in November that have been put on, split roll and a bunch of other ones on there. So it's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight, and we cannot stand any of this in the current predicament we are on that. I mean, we dodged a major bullet by defeating Prop 13, because imagine if we were encumbered by another $15 billion of debt in the state of California, on top of what's going on top of looking at a $54 billion statewide deficit and growing by the day of what's going on. So that's that's something that we're going to have to gear up, because this fight, we definitely have the fight to open up our state and our schools and our cities and our counties. We definitely have that. That's front burner, and that's part of it. But we do have to prepare for the November elections. We've got to start getting some more. We got to start getting some more elected officials like Michelle Steele, the chairwoman of the Orange County Board of Supervisors, who said not no, but hell no when Gavin Newsom was trying to shut down their beaches. We need more representatives like Jeff Hewitt, Riverside County Supervisor, who said, open this county up and open it up now. We do not need representatives like Manny Perez, chairman of the board, when the sheriff and the district attorney said, I'm going to say, tell me the person that is not incredulous about this whole deal, where they're arresting people 3 times a day and letting them out for various crimes. Our district attorney, Mike Hester, and we'll have him on here pretty soon to explain it. But he said, we don't need to get rid of everything, but there's a few things that we need to tune up on this stuff, and Sheriff Chad Bianco backed him up. And the other 4 said yes, and Manny Perez says, well, I don't really know about this, and I haven't studied, and I don't know, and and voted no against it, and made the case of that. Then why are you sitting up there on the dais? If you can't make a decision on that,
Yeah.
on something very simple as that, straightforward. It's not throwing out the whole proposition or anything. We're all for rehabilitating in that, but when we have dangerous criminals, when you're letting out child predators under the guise of that's not a violent crime under this, then that is incredulous. And if you're not paying attention or you can't figure that out, you should do the honorable thing and resign, which you probably won't. But I hope the good people of the 4th District of Riverside County, which is the greater Lower Desert Coachella Valley area, Palm Springs, will recall that guy, because we don't need that kind of stupid up there sitting up there governing our area.
Mark writes in, I think he has a great point. There won't be no Social Security in the future. Great point. But also, my ABC app went ahead and prompted me on something. And your favorite, what do you call him? What do you call him?
Who?
The mayor of LA. What's your nickname for him?
Oh, Garcetti?
Yeah.
Did I have a nickname for Garcetti?
No, you don't, do you? I'm thinking Newsom.
Yoga Pants. Yeah.
Yoga Pants.
Yoga Pants is
He
what.
put-
Yes, because he was parading around in yoga pants over there one time. Yoga Pants Garcetti.
He put,
okay.
no, we won't be shut down for 3 months, Garcetti said. That's not what I heard. That's not what I want. Or that's not what I expect. And that's not what I hope.
Oh, yeah. They were.
But how did you not hear that when they said we most certainly will remain in place for some form for the next 3 months?
He's the one that's
Where
got-
do you not hear that?
Yes, him and LA County and all that are doing that on the beaches. You heard Susan Shelley explain the stupid policy.
That's not what he heard, so I don't know.
Yes, but he's been advocating this stuff all along, going along with it and doing the same thing. Again, Newsom's feeling the heat. Garcetti's feeling the heat. All these dingbats that are keeping us locked down are feeling the heat. And we got to put the pressure on more. Bottom line, get on our representatives. We're going to put the video out there, open video to all of our representatives saying open the state up, open all our jurisdiction up, schools up, now. No delays.
Well, maybe the schools we can.
We'll be tomorrow.
beach.
We'll be tomorrow on a thankful Thursday. But until then, we're gone.
Bye.